Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. How you guys been? Today we're going to be talking about Dareej by Rasasi. This is very polarizing scent. I believe Aromatix called this one of the worst scents he's ever smelled. So we're going to talk about this and give a little feedback on what this smells like, the performance, etc, etc. Let's first talk about the bottle. This is a very basic looking bottle. This turns away from the Hawas design. This is more like a square with inturned edges versus the very round looking bottle that Hawas has. And this has also a very spiky top. Now let's do a first sniff of this very quickly. Off the top, this is giving me straight up sweetness and a little bit of spice. Yeah, there's a lot of sweetness here, a little bit of spice, but mostly a bunch of sweetness. It kind of smells like a winter scent more than anything else. It smells very vanilla-y, very candied vanilla, but there is some warmth there. There is some delicate warmth because it's not very warm. It's very soft warmth there to like cushion that vanilla, to cushion that sweetness. That's why I think it's leaning more towards that winteriness, that Christmassy vibe. There's also some flowery background that comes off and the last tail end of the sniff. So when you start sniffing it, you get that sweetness, you get that warmth that cushions it, and then as you stop sniffing it, like that back of your throat kind of thing, then you get that floweriness. I think it can be, I don't think it's white florals. I think it's more like maybe a rose or something around those lines. It smells pretty good in my opinion, so I find it strange that Aromatix thinks it's one of the worst scents he's ever smelled. To me, it just smells generically sweet. It smells pretty good to me. It smells to me like one of those classic university kid smells, like someone who is just getting into fragrances would smell like. So it's sweet, it's interesting, it's a little bit spicy, it's very, I would say, male leaning, but interesting. So the notes for this are as follows. The top notes for this are cumin, cardamom, and artemisia. The middle notes are rose and orris root, and then the base notes are vanilla, tonka bean, amber, sandalwood, patchouli, and musk. So as you smell this, you can definitely pick out the vanilla, you can pick out that tonka bean, and you can pick out that amber. I personally pick out rose quite a bit from this, and a little bit of that cardamom. I don't think I can pick out a cumin because cumin is a very, very distinctive smell to me and I can't pick that out. And nothing stands out as green to me. So it's mostly those. And then I think what's also coming out to me a lot is that musk, that clean vibe that's there. So all those together are creating this. Think about a sweeter soapy smell, a sweeter body wash smell. This is what that's kind of giving me. So it's a pretty nice smell for a starter smell for guys. I think it's pretty nice. According to Fragrantica, this has a 4.15 out of 5 with 2,748 votes. So it's pretty popular. Most people like the fact that it's affordable. Most people like the fact that it's sweet without being kind of like baby sweet. Like it doesn't feel super young. It doesn't lean very childish. And a lot of people like the projection and longevity of this. In terms of negatives, what I could find out from this, it's that it is, a lot of people complained about the strength of this as well. So if you wear this in an enclosed environment, you might choke people out. They also said that it might not grow, so meaning that it's kind of flat linear scent. What you start off with is what you get through the entire experience, which also kind of sucks. And a lot of people say that it is a little too feminine leaning, not necessarily a unisex scent, which I would get if you're like, if you associate roses and sweetness to feminine, you might think this is too feminine leaning. I totally get that. To me, this is leaning more towards cleanness and like that soapy vibe than anything else. So overall, I think this is a very decent scent. In my experience, when I wore this, it was a very strong projector. I think it projected pretty strongly. It didn't take over a room per se. I think to me, it was more like it projected around 4 feet, but it never turned into like a bubble after 2 hours or so. It kind of just kept projecting and people noticed it, but no one commented on it either negative or positively. I think I just gave off like I just freshly showered kind of vibe because everybody like kind of treated it as if it was a clean smell. You know what I mean? So a lot of people don't comment on smells that smell clean. And in terms of the smell, as I wore it multiple days, the vibe was just basically, it smells good. It smells decent. It doesn't knock my socks off. It's not something I found impressive, but I found it decent. I think they did a very good job at capturing that fresh, clean smell that leans sweet, that leans a little bit flowery, but it's pretty unisex. I think it's a pretty nice smell. Overall, I think this is a pretty decent experience in terms of scents. I would definitely give this in terms of scent a 9 or an 8.5. I would give it projection longevity. I would give it like an 8.5, maybe 9. I think it's not a beast mode, but it's pretty good. And lastly, I think overall, I would give it maybe an 8.5. It's a good smell. I get Aromatix saying that he really hated it. I don't get why he would hate it as much, but to me, it was just pretty darn decent. I really liked it. What do you guys think? Have you tried Dareej by Rasasi? Has this been on your radar? Do you agree with Aromatix that you hate it? Do you agree with me that it's kind of mid but decent? Or are you a super fanboy of this fragrance? Let me know. Let me know your thoughts. Remember that scents are subjective. What I like isn't necessarily what you like. And always remember to smell your best. See ya.